We see that Seong is the main character of the season. It's his daughter's birthday. Seong's mother gives him cash for taking his daughter to dinner. But Seong needs more money, so he steals his mother's ATM card. Then he steals all of his mother's money. He wagers the money on horse racing and wins 4 million yuan. Wow, how lucky Seong is. Seong took out a loan from a company. This is why these people are searching for him. They start beating Seong. When Seong checks his pockets to return the money, he finds that there is nothing in his pocket. Then he recalls the girl who bumped into him while escaping. This girl has ripped his pocket because Seong is impoverished. He has been given a 1-month time. At this time, he must return their money. Seong arranges some money and takes his daughter for a meal. After that, Seong rushes to the train station, but unfortunately, Seong missed his train. A stranger approaches Seong while he is seated and awaiting his train. Seong is unfamiliar with the man. He asks Seong, "I want to play a game with you. If you will win this game, give you 1 lakh yuan." Hearing about a large sum of money, Seong agreed to participate in this game. After being beaten a lot, Seong wins the game. It means he gets 1 lakh yuan. The unknown person gives Seong a card while saying, "If you want to earn more money, contact the number." When he returned to home, Seong's mother says to Seong, "Your daughter is moving with her stepfather to the US next year." Here, it is disclosed that Seong has gone through a divorce, and his ex-wife has remarried. Seong is determined to keep his daughter close and is seeking a substantial amount of money to secure custody. To establish contact, he reached out using the number on the card, and he arrived in a car accompanied by a group of individuals. They collectively lost consciousness, and upon awakening, they found that they were in a facility with 456 additional individuals. They realized they had assumed the role of players, distinguished by the uniforms they wore. The overseer of this establishment was a man serving as the frontman, carefully monitoring their activities. A shared trait among their rivals was the significant debts they had accrued. Seong encounters player number 1, an elderly man facing the end of his life due to a brain tumor, which was the reason for his presence in this place. There is a fight between 2 players. The girl is named Se-byok, the boy is named Jang. Se-byok is the same girl who had previously stolen money from Seong by tearing his pocket. Upon recognizing her, Seong approaches Se-byok to inquire about his money. Meanwhile, some guards arrive while wearing the pink uniform. Their faces were covered. The guards told the players, "You all have to play a total of 6 games here. The winner of this game will receive a large amount of money." Their signatures were obtained on a contract. The first rule of this contract is that no player can voluntarily skip the game. The second rule is that any player who is unable to play will be eliminated from the game. What does the word eliminate mean to them? We'll find out later. The third rule was, if the majority of players are unwilling to play the game, they may leave. After that, they were taken for playing the game. Seong meets his classmate Sang-woo, who has known him since childhood. Seong was shocked to see him because he had gone out of the country for business. There was a massive doll for the first game. This game's rule was so simple. It was that, whenever doll sang, they had to move forward. As it will stop singing, they have to stop. Don't have to move. If someone moves, he will be eliminated. Everything appeared to be a joke at first, but when a boy moved, he was finished after being shoot. It was the meaning of eliminating. It means they will be finished, and seeing it, they all get panicked, realizing the peril they are in. A profound sense of terror and panic grips them, so they wander. Now, because of the game's rule, the one who is moving will be finished. The survivors somehow complete the game. Afterward, the deceased participants are removed, leaving only 255 players out of the initial 456. All the players were scared. Now none wanted to play the game. As rule number 3 was, if the majority wants, they can skip the game. The frontmen did the voting process. Before they were shown the prize money, the winner will get. But if they will leave the game, this money will be given to the dead player's family. The prize money was a total of 45 billion yuan. The voting is done in which the majority didn't want to play the game. That's why the game stopped there. They can rejoin the game in the future if they want. They all were taken to their houses. The next day, Seong tells the police everything while going to the police station. But they didn't believe in Seong. They think he is insane. Seong shows them the card, but surprisingly the number was wrong on it. Seong returns home but his mother isn't there. Seong's classmate Sang-woo was seeing his mother secretly. Meanwhile, Seong arrives. Sang-woo tells Seong being upset, "I am under 6 billion in debt." He confesses, "I invested clients' funds in the stock margin, but unfortunately, all the money has been lost." Seong receives a call from the hospital, informing him that his mother's foot has been injured, and the situation has worsened due to her neglect in managing her diabetes. The doctor informs Seong that your mother can be dealt with, but that we must remove her foot to do so. This procedure requires a significant amount of money, and it's apparent that Seong is financially strained, having already exhausted his mother's insurance funds. Desperate, he approaches his wife to request financial assistance, but she declines. When her husband learns of Seong's visit, he intervenes by providing the money while sternly cautioning Seong to stay away from my family. Seong starts beating him, then his daughter also arrives. Seong's friend goes to his boss to ask for the money. His boss refuses to give money, so the fight starts between them. During the fight, his boss's hand becomes injured in a machine, and getting a chance, Seong's friend escapes while taking money. Returning home, Seong's friend tells his wife to take the first flight and leave. Se-byok meets an agent because she has to shift her mother from the north to the south area. Se-byok steals Seong's money because she needs money to bring her mother to her. Se-byok has an elder brother and promised to bring their mother. Later, an officer is shown his brother was missing. The officer goes to his brother's house. He discovers his brother hasn't come to his home for the last few days. While checking the house, the officer finds a card there. The officer has seen the same card with Seong in the police station. The officer approaches Seong and inquires about it, but Seong refuses to answer. When Seong returns home, he again finds that card. Seong decides that he will again join the game. That's why all the players were taken near a ship. The officer also arrives while chasing the cars. He finishes the guard and throws him in the water. The players were taken to a facility on an island. They have no idea about the next game and how will it be played. They make their teams. Se-byok and her female friend go to the washroom at night. Escaping from guards, Se-byok explores the facility. She notices the guards are cooking something in huge pots. The guards become suspicious, and one of them comes to inspect the washrooms. Meanwhile, Se-byok returns and shares the details of what she observed with her female friend, unbeknownst to them. Sang-woo overhears their conversation. Intrigued, Sang-woo questions Se-byok, who cryptically mentions they are cooking something significant in large pots. Then all the players were taken to the playground. For shapes were in front of them, and they had to choose a shape. Sang-woo comes to know about the game and what they have to do. Sang-woo tells Seog they all have to choose different shapes. Subsequently, each participant is handed a small pot with specific shapes molded into it. The challenge is to extract the shape without causing any damage. However, if the shape turns out to be D-shaped, it results in elimination, signifying the end for that individual. Sang-woo easily takes out the shape. Seong's condition gets worse, being panicked, but then he somehow wins this game. They were taken back to the rooms. 187 players were returned and now 108 were left from them. After that, they were taken to have food. Because of food, Jang fights with a boy. Jang beats the boy and he finishes the boy at the spot. There is a doctor shown among the players, who sells the organs of the dead people to the Chinese with the help of the guards. That's why, whenever dead bodies are taken, they disappear them. This all was happening according to a plan. This was happening secretly by the frontmen. This is the reason they made their own man sit in the control room. He used to delete all the video footage of them. The guards were already aware of the doctor about the game, so that he will survive. A guard informs the doctor that we have given the players less food today, so they will fight together. Because of this, all the weak players will be out of the game. With it, the guard tells the doctor about their next game. Now the lights were about to off after 30 minutes. Sang-woo knows that Seong's team will do something stupid. He calls the team and asks them to stay relaxed. The doctor player adds up in Jang's team. Here, the doctor tells Jang about the next game. After that, the lights turn off and Jang beats everyone with his team. After finishing a girl, Jang goes to finish Sae-byeok. But Seong saves her. The guards arrived and forbade them. There were now only 80 people left. Later, they were taken for the third game. They were asked to make a team consisting of 10 players. They do the same and make their team. Jang is aware about the upcoming game. But he doesn't include Sae female Byeok's friend in his team. He makes his team only consisting of males. Sang-woo also makes his team because they need a player so. Sae, Byeok's female friend adds them in. This game was tug of war. It means they have to fall the team in front of them. The game starts and Jang's team easily wins. Now it was the run of Sang-woo's team. Player number 1, the old man says, I have played many tug of wars in my life. That's why he guides them on how to win this game. They have won the game somehow. The lights are then shown to be turned off after 30 minutes. On it, Sang-woo asks them to be ready. They decide they will guard one by one. Jang's team had wise players, so Jang was afraid that his team would cut him off. Now the doctor and guards were taking out the organs of dead bodies. Guard numbers 28 and 29 will go to deliver these organs. They talk about the dead body having one kidney and call him a zombie. Guard number 29 was actually the officer who had to deliver the organs. He arrives dressed as a guard and suspects they are discussing my brother, because he also has one kidney. The numbers 28 and 29 move to deliver the organs. On the way, the officer notices the bomb in the tunnel. The number 28 tells him, when we will go out, this place will be blasted. The officer tries to take more information from number 28. Number 28 suspects him. He asks the officer to show his face. While showing his face, the officer points the gun at the number 29. The officer asks him about the man with the one kidney. Who is the person you call a zombie? Number 28 says, she was a girl, and says he can take all of the information while going to the leader's room. There is data for everyone. The officer finishes the number 28 after knowing this. On another hand, the doctor asks the guard about the next game, but this time, the guards also don't know about the next game. The doctor becomes furious. He holds a guard and fights with them. He escapes after finishing one of the guard. The guard also chases him and reaches a playground. The guard was about to end the doctor while trapping him, but the leader arrives and ends him. He also ends the doctor. On the way, he also finds the dead body of number 28. He knows there is someone in the facility. Here the officer reaches the leader's room. While checking, he arrives at a room where there was everyone's records. The officer checks and finds the record of the winners. There was his brother's name. It means he was the winner. Then we see that the players were taken for the fourth game. They were asked to choose their partner. The players do the same and choose their partners. Sae-byeok's female friend also tries to search for her partner. None was ready to be her partner. Following that, each player was given 10 marbles. The game is, the player has to take all the marbles from his partner without forcing him. The other person having no marbles will end. Sang-woo and Seong's friends play the even and odd game. They have to guess the number of marbles in the front person's hand. Seong's friend wins all the marbles of Sang-woo, and Sang-woo has only one marble left in the final round. Sang-woo knows now his life will be ended. He traps Seong's friend and makes him believe that if anyone loses, their match will be again held. Sang-woo, while cheating, changes the marbles of Seong's friend. Taking the marbles, Sang-woo gives them to the guard and leaves from there. Seong's friend checked the marbles, but they were stones. The condition of player number 1 was not good. That's why he wandered here and there. Seong makes him ready to play, and they also play the even and odd game. The old man wins all the marbles of Seong, but in the last round, the old man forgets what has he chosen. Seong takes his marbles while trapping him. But the old man was astute. He kept one marble with him. He again wanders, and Seong requests him to play another game with him. The old man says, "I know you have taken all marbles from me while cheating." He says, "I knew everything, but I was acting like a fool." Hearing it, Seong took pity on him and gave him all the marbles. Sae-byeok and her female friend were also playing games. Their game is that one who will throw marbles near the wall will win. At first, Sae-byeok throws her marbles. When it was Sae-byeok's friend's turn, she threw all her marbles. Seeing it, Sae-byeok asks her friend to throw it again. Her friend says, "No, Sae-byeok. I am alone. There is none behind me. But if something bad happens to you, it won't be good. There is your elder brother waiting for you." Sae-byeok's friend was finished. Their dead bodies were taken from there. They returned to the rooms. Jang notices that Sae-byeok's that friend is still alive. She was sitting calmly. Here it is shown that Sae-byeok's friend was also Jang's friend. There was a reason why they clashed. Jang's friend bullies him. Later the frontman finds the ID card of the officer near a dead body. Then frontman comes to know his VIPs have arrived. The frontman moves to receive them. All VIPs were taken to the rooms, and frontman later tells about the VIP's arrival to another man. He was the main character about whom we will learn later. The next day, they all were brought for the 5th game. They were the digits from 1 to 16. And the players took their numbers, which means there will be their turn according to their number. In the last, the first and the last number left. It means 1 and 16. Seong gets confused about which number he has to choose. If he chooses the first option, he will be stuck because he is unfamiliar with the game. Selecting the last number could mean Seong may miss his turn. However, a man approaches Seong, expressing a desire for the first number, explaining that he has never had the opportunity to be in the first position in his life. They were taken to a gaming room. The rule of the game is they have to cross the bridge in the given time. There were 2 glasses in between the bridge. One was ordinary glass, but another was tempered glass. The ordinary glass will break when they step on it. They will fall. The game then begins, and they are eliminated one by one. Jang was in front of all and wasn't moving forward. They have only one way, to move forward or to die here. Jang's friend comes in front, who was bullying him. She says, "I told you, when you deceived me, that I will finish you." She holds Jang and jumps. Due to it, they both are finished. There was a man who worked in a glass company. He knew which one was tempered glass. The frontman turns off the lights when he knows about it, so they will not recognize the glass. They don't have time for the last step. So Sang-woo pushes the man. Sang-woo, Seong, and Sae-byeok have crossed the bridge. But due to the broken glass, they were injured. Sae-byeok was hurt as well. On the other hand, the officer has taken a servant's place after finishing him. A VIP suspects the officer. He asks him to remove the mask. "Okay," says the officer. "But I'll remove my mask before going inside." Then the officer moves inside with the VIP. Moving inside, the officer makes the VIP faint. The frontman knows it. The frontman chases him and sees the officer. The officer escapes and reaches an island. The frontman also arrives while chasing him. The officer tries to call his seniors, but the call disconnects. The officer sent him all the proofs, but there was no network. The frontman captures the officer and asks him to go with him. But the officer fires a bullet at the frontman. When the frontman takes off his mask, the officer realizes it's none other than this brother. The officer's brother means the frontman shoots him. He falls into the water. Sae-byeok was injured due to the glass. She was bleeding. Then the survivors were taken to the dinner. A knife was also placed near them. It means that at night anyone among them will kill someone. Seong notices that Se-byok's condition is worse. He says to Se-byok, "Don't worry, we are together and will defeat Sang-woo. Then we will leave and will divide the money." Se-byok tells him, "I have an elder brother, I have left him in an orphanage. If one of us goes out, he or she must care for both families." Se-byok's condition was worse. She needed a doctor. Seong goes to ask for help, but when he returns, Sang-woo has finished Se-byok. The next day, they are taken for the last game. The rule of the game is simple: kill or die. This game was named Squid Game. The game starts and there is a huge fight between them. In the last, Sang-woo's condition gets worse. Seong says, "I want to stop this game." Seong asks Sang-woo to come with him. Sang-woo finishes himself, and due to it, Seong wins the game. The frontman says to Seong, "You have played well, but I was surprised to find out this." Then Seong was dropped at his house. He has an ATM card. When he checks it, he sees all of his money has been transferred. Seong moves into his house, but his mother dies before he arrives. The scene is then shown a year later. Seong's condition was worse and used to take drugs. He hasn't used the money yet. A lady who was selling flowers comes to Seong and gives him the same card. An address is mentioned on it. Seong moves to the address. There he discovers that all has been done by the old man. Player number 1, he's still alive, and the old man tells Seong that he's tired of his life. "I have made these games with my clients, so I will enjoy seeing the people dying, but we didn't force anyone to do this. I took part in the game because playing is more enjoyable than watching." He says, "The money you have is mine." Saying this, the old man dies. After that, Seong goes to the elder brother of Se-byok. He drops him off at Sang-woo's mother and asks her to take care of this kid. He also gives her a bag full of money. Seong moves to the station, and the same unknown person, whom he met at the start of the movie, meets him. Seong chases him, but he escapes. Then Seong calls the card number and asks who they are and why they are doing this to people. "Why are you tampering with other people's lives?" But the response was, "Seong, get on the plane if you want to live." And we see that Seong goes to the plane side. Means Seong again joined the game. This is the end of story. If you like the story, then hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.